Good morning, folks. Welcome to my video here as I make my playoff predictions. First off, I want to say Happy New Year to all my subs, all my subscribers, all my fans who've been watching my videos. I just want to thank you for being patient, tuning in, and subscribing. Hit that like button if you like the video, or comment or who you think of, make it out the first round. And then this is what I'm going to focus on for this weekend. And first of all, I did tell y'all, if y'all was watching my videos earlier in the football season last year, I told y'all that this was going to be the year you're going to see teams you normally don't see every year. I told all y'all in the beginning of the season that this is going to be the year you're going to see teams that normally don't make the playoffs every single year. These are teams you don't see all the time. Teams such as the Rams, the LA Rams. The Rams ain't made it in since the Marshall Faulk days, when they had Kurt Warner and Isaac Bruce. That was the last time the Rams was ever a strong contending playoff team. Now they finally made the playoffs. And then you got teams like the Jaguars, Bills, and the Titans. I know Jaguars and Titans ain't made it in since the 08 season, the year Tom Brady got injured. Kansas City knocked off Tom Brady, earlier in the season, and he was gone. That was the last time they ever won out in their division. And the Bills ain't made it in since '99. And all this bracket basically proves, all this playoffs basically proves is my theory to what I've been telling y'all last year. For like the last, 2 years, is that the league is not scripted at all. Yes, the league may be fixed at times, and when the game is rigged, the teams rigging it gets caught and punished anyway, but never scripted. Because how many people thought that the Bills and Jaguars was going to make it into the playoffs this year? How many of y'all actually took the Titans? Those are teams nobody really even paid attention to. They never pay attention to those teams anyway because they be so sorry. Those franchises have been so poorly the last 10, 15, 20 years that nobody really looks at them. But Bills always have potential. It's just they needed the right head coach. They needed the right quarterback. They needed the right defense, and now they have it. Kyle Williams, to me, is Defensive Player of the Year. What he's doing with that defensive line. They have the best front seven in the AFC right now. That line can get to the quarterback. Same thing with the Jacksonville Jaguars with Calais Campbell. That Jaguar team, ever since Tom Coughlin came into the Jaguars, that was the best thing for him. He's turning that Jaguar team into the New York Giants he had when he won the Super Bowl off the 97 record. Now they won 10 games. Nobody ever suspect that at all. And how many of y'all actually took the Vikings this year? See, I noticed this, man. A lot of y'all, and I told y'all this, man. A lot of them people that's using gematria, they using numerology. They don't actually watch football. They don't know what's going on in the summertime. They don't watch the NFL draft. They can't tell you. They can't even name the full roster of these teams. I told y'all that Sam Bradford was just a bad quarterback last year. Sam Bradford was never going to have this team being 13-3 as a second seed in the playoffs. Sam Bradford was never going to take any team to the playoffs. It took Sam Bradford getting injured, Chase Keenum stepping up, and now this team is right back, to winning again like they was in 2015. And now Teddy Bridgewater is back now. He's a reliable backup. So the Vikings got stability. They got home field advantage throughout the entire playoffs. The balls is actually on their court this year. All Vikings got to do is just win out. They got full advantage. They already got home field advantage now because they have a bye week. And then, let's say if they make it to the Super Bowl, it's in their house. So everything's pretty much set for the Vikings to win a Super Bowl this year. And I told you, man, ain't no such thing as no script. The only script that was around was the ones them idiots created last year. The only script is the one Zachary Hubbard creates every year. He takes a script, he creates a fake script, then he uses his gematria to try to calculate outcomes to make it seem believable. That's why he never gets a prediction hardly right. And I told y'all before, even 2 years ago, the reason why the Broncos and the Patriots won Super Bowl 49 and Super Bowl 50 because those were the two best teams of that year. The Patriots almost beat the Broncos the following year in Super Bowl 50. Before Super Bowl 50, almost beat them. Those two teams had the best roster. Broncos had the best defense. Defense wins championships. Not because of no script, not because of no gematria. It's because they have the best roster. Those teams had the best players on their team, offense and defensively. That's the reason why these teams make it into the playoffs. Each and every last one of these teams you see before you now all have the stronger rosters. And teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars, Buffalo Bills, Tennessee Titans, and even the LA Rams and New Orleans Saints, they got the best defenses. Minnesota has a good defense. Philly has proven to have a top 3 defense. And yeah, the Eagles don't have Carson Wentz no more, but Nick Foles has led this team to a playoff series before in 2013. And those that remember when Chip Kelly first stepped in. So without further ado, man, let me begin with these predictions for the first round. First, I'm gonna start with the NFC. I got, so the Rams and Falcons. I got Rams actually beating the Falcons. In the first round. I think this is the Rams' year. Todd Gurley's on an MVP type season, and it's been proven that Jeff Fisher just wasn't the right coach for this team because McVay is only 30 years old and he already has his team. 11 wins in. Okay, I told y'all, man, McVay. This Rams team have not looked the same. Haven't looked this strong since 2001, 2002. Okay, 2003. The early 2000s, the early millennium is when the Rams was ever a strong playoff team. Okay, it's been that long of a drought for them. But they finally turned things around. Jeff Fisher was just a terrible coach. Okay, Jeff Fisher was just not the right coach for them at all. Okay, so they changed everything around. They got McVay in. They stuck true. They stayed true to their picks. They stayed with Jared Goff. Now you see what he can do. It's a different playbook for him. McVay just has a better playbook. He has the right strategy for them to go. So I think the only way, if the Rams is able to slow down the Falcons, because the Falcons is a fast-paced football team. We've seen this time after time. But I told y'all before, Atlanta's problem is that in the second half, when it gets down to the fourth quarter, they gas out. If the Rams can slow them down and play a slower-paced game, if you can force Matt Ryan to continue to go on ground, and they can basically get their hands on Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman, then Rams should be able to win this game. You know what I'm saying? I can see Todd Gurley going for at least maybe 115 yards. Because Rams, this team is all around decent. This is from the way I see it. From when they played against my Cowboys to the Seahawks, this team can really win games. Okay, the Rams know how to break you down. So that's all LA has to do against Atlanta. Slow down the pace. Force Matt Ryan to basically have because Matt Ryan can't play a slow-paced game. Okay, the reason why the Patriots were able to beat him in Super Bowl 51 is because they was able to slow Matt Ryan down. They was able to force Matt Ryan to make bad throws. They was able to get Matt Ryan off his game. You may to make him uncomfortable. It slows the pace down because Julio Jones and Sanu are the main two offense. They are aired out team. They're a passing team. Yeah, Devontae Freeman get down, but he's been injured too. He's lost a step this season off the injuries. Coleman's okay, but like I said, if they can't, those running backs can't pick up 7 to 9 yards, then that throws off the offense. So that's all you got to do with Atlanta. You got to slow them down because Matt Ryan has the best receiver core in the league next to Pittsburgh. So, next to Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, Minnesota, they have the best receivers. They've always had good receivers. And technically, this is the same team from last year. So, they was able to barely make it in. But I just think Rams got a lot of momentum right now. Rams didn't really lose too many games this year anyway. So, I got LA over Atlanta. I say it'll be down to at least maybe 2 touchdowns. I say the Rams will beat them by 14, possibly. Because, like I said, Atlanta does give up a lot of leads. Okay, they have a problem securing leads. So that's the only way LA can beat Atlanta. They have to slow it down. Now, as for Carolina and New Orleans, I got to go with Carolina. Even though I know New Orleans has a strong, young team. And Drew Brees, if any quarterback, he's the man to get it done. Okay, this man has a ring before. He's actually led the Saints to a young Saints team before. Remember, the team he had in 2009, 2010 was fairly young. The only one that was old was Darren Sharper. But everybody else, like Will Smith, Marcus Colston, you have Pierre Thomas, Reggie Bush, those guys were all in their mid to early 20s. They were 24, 25 years old. So Breeze has done it before with this team. Sean Payton knows how to get there. Okay, the Saints are another team that's very powerful. Okay, you can't be sleeping on them. They're underestimated. But because of Carolina has experience, they've been there 2 years ago, I got to go with Cam Newton. Cam Newton's been on a roll recently, man. Everything, people, see, that's the thing, man. People thought Cam Newton was going to look so good. People wasn't really taking Carolina to really go as far as they did. But Cam Newton basically overcame the odds. He beat Green Bay. I give him that. He's actually beaten Minnesota. So that's the one advantage I'm going to give Carolina right now. They're proving they can beat the Vikings even in the regular season when the pressure comes down to it. So because of the experience of Carolina And because of Ron Rivera, I'm going to give him an edge over Sean Payton. Sean Payton has a very young Saints team, but they're only going to get better. And I know my cousins are going to hate me for this because my cousin Miles is a big Saints fan. He even told me Saints is going to the Super Bowl, even though I disagree with him. But I got Carolina, you know what I'm saying, basically beating New Orleans only because of the playoff experience. Because this team has been here 2 years ago. They've been to a Super Bowl already. Practically, but most of the roster. Only a couple of guys left. Josh Norman, and then I think Finnegan is going, and Peanut Tillman retired. But that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, Kevin Benjamin was never there in the first place. So, yeah, the Panthers are pretty much straight. You know, they're pretty solid. They can get the win. Next up on the AFC. This is going to be pretty interesting. I want everybody to pay close attention to the Bills and the Jaguars. Okay? Because either one of those two teams can basically upset New England in the first round. And only for this reason, because Jacksonville has basically beat the crap out of both Seattle and Pittsburgh. Jacksonville has been blowing teams out this year, if y'all paid attention to it. For those who have actually watched football, okay, for those who actually know these rosters, not only do you play Madden, but you actually watch these games on NFL Sunday. For those that watch the highlights, you play the Fantasy League. Did you know that a lot of these Jaguar players have been beasting this year? Blake Bortles was playing the best season of his life, okay? And it took him long enough. Blake Bortles has over 3,820 yards, okay, this season. He's reached the 3,000 mark. He's never looked this good at all, okay? I told y'all, Tom Coughlin has a lot of his signature with this team. That defense has looked like Tom Coughlin had with the Giants, okay? Coach Marone has basically taken a lot of time with Tom Coughlin to build this team. But I told y'all that. I told y'all the Jaguars is the surprise team. Now, okay, that was on y'all. Y'all don't believe me or not, but I told y'all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, Tom Coughlin was going to have this Jaguar team in the playoffs, and now you see it. And remember, this wouldn't be the only time the Jaguars would face New England if they make it. Remember, back in '99, in the 96-97 season when Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback, the Jaguars actually played the Patriots in the AFC Championship. Of course, the Denver Broncos was injured that year. They were beat up badly, but still, the Jaguars beat the Broncos, who was a stronger AFC team. And they actually went to an AFC Championship. And that was within their second year as being a franchise team. And that was all thanks to Tom Coughlin. Okay? And Coach Marone is obviously able to work with the draft piece he's gotten. You know what I'm saying? Calais Campbell, Barry Church was a good pickup for them. This team is looking good. Fournette is a great running back. Okay? He's like I think he's top 10. He's like, I think, number 6 or 5 in running backs this year in rushing, as far as the AFC is concerned. So this team is looking good right now. But the Bills, the only way the Bills can beat Jaguars is if they have to basically get to Blake Bortles. If Kyle Williams and that defensive line can force pressure into Blake Bortles, and like I said, get him to make mistakes, because like I said, Blake Bortles is still young right now, okay? He's still growing right now, but the Bills can beat you getting some pressure, and they're going to have to basically give Tyrod Taylor a good field position if they're going to beat the Jaguars. They're going to have to slow Jacksonville down. They can't allow Jacksonville to get any momentum on them this game. And Tyrod Taylor is basically fighting for his job right now. That's why the Bills was able to get in, because Tyrod Taylor knows they was going to cut him. They was basically going to release Tyrod Taylor. If the Bills didn't make the playoffs this year, Tyrod Taylor was going to get fired, because they wanted to go with the rookie anyway. Even though the team themselves didn't want Tyrod Taylor getting benched. Because to me, Tyrod Taylor is a great quarterback anyway, and the brother can play. I give Tyrod Taylor that. He has some skill. Okay, you just got to surround Tyrod Taylor with more weapons. Now, getting Kevin Benjamin was the right trade. Okay, the Bills were smart to pick him up because Tyrod Taylor needs more offensive weapons, especially with LeSean McCoy possibly not playing this game. Shane McCoy is dealing with an injury right now. Shane McCoy is another one who's been doing very good for them. Is the reason why this offense has been clicking, because Shane McCoy can play. Okay, Shane McCoy still is a decent running back. All right, to me, that's the one player Philadelphia should have never let go, was Shady McCoy. If I'm the Eagles, I would have kept McCoy on my team. If they would have kept McCoy now, they wouldn't even need to make the trade for Jay Adot. Even though I'm not taking nothing from Ajay, but Shady McCoy was a 2,000-yard back. And now he's been balling with the Bills right now, and now you see that. But if the Bills could get Shady McCoy in there, that's going to help Tyrod Taylor out a lot, because Shady McCoy opens up the offense for you. Because a lot of teams have to focus on McCoy, because you have to limit McCoy. You don't want to allow McCoy to get off. But I got Jacksonville beating Bills only because they're a slightly better team. The Jaguars have more weapons offensively than the Bills do. Even though Bills defensively, they have a very good defense. I give Kyle Williams that. That defensive line is dangerous. And plus, the Bills have played the Patriots 2 years anyway. You know what I'm saying? They pay them two times in a year, excuse me. So the Bills know how to play the Patriots, okay? They know how to battle New England. And if you see the Bills and Patriots, it's always a close game. Patriots don't never really blow out Buffalo all that much anyway. So if the Bills get to the Patriots, it's still dangerous. I don't see Patriots run over near one of these teams. Next, we have Kansas City and Tennessee. Now, for Kansas City right now, that goal is to get back to Pittsburgh like they did last year. Kansas City needs that from Pittsburgh. They want that rematch. Remember, Pittsburgh and Kansas City was the closest game last year. That was a defensive game because Pittsburgh didn't score a single touchdown against that defense. Okay? And yeah, Kansas City don't have Eric Berry all that much, but they're still good, man. Andy Reid still has a strong defense. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who Kansas City wants, they want to knock Steelers off badly. And that's the goal right now. Kansas City is on a 4-game win streak. They've went 5-0 in the last 6 weeks. Okay? But Tennessee, I give Mariota and DeMarco Murray a whole lot of credit right now. They've worked hard. They basically earned their way in here. And the Tennessee Titans are the reason why the Ravens are not in the playoffs, because they won their game. Ravens couldn't quite get the job done. I would love to see Baltimore and Kansas City playing Pittsburgh anyway. I would love to see that matchup, but Tennessee is obviously, you know what I'm saying, like I said, they're here for a reason. They wanted more. And I told y'all that it was gonna be an AFC South matchup. The Tennessee Titans and the Jaguars was gonna possibly make the playoffs. Tennessee's another team that nobody thought was making it in. And Delaney Walker, to me, is one that, like I say, he's like the number 3 tight end in the league, next to Gronkowski and Jason Witten and Jesse James. He's the third. He's pretty much one of the best tight ends in the league. But the problem with Mariota is that Mariota needs a better offensive line. The Titans gonna lose if they can't get Mariota enough time in the pocket. So I got Kansas City beating Tennessee only because Kansas City is hungry right now. They want to get back to Pittsburgh. They want that rematch. And if Kansas City faces Pittsburgh right now, don't assume the Steelers is going to win easily. See, this is the problem where people have been messing up in these predictions. They assume the Steelers going to go all the way because it's Ben Roethlisberger, because they got Antonio Brown, because they got Mike Tomlin. That's not always the case. Pittsburgh defensively ain't been looking so good. Now, I told y'all, the Jacksonville Jaguars already beat the crap out of them already in the season anyway. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Roethlisberger and both him and Brady are getting older now. These teams you see in the first round, either one of them can pull off the upset. Just like these teams in the NFC right now that's in the wild card. Okay? Every team in the playoffs right now is looking strong. And all this basically proves right now that the league is basically changing right now. Teams like New England, Pittsburgh, they're getting older, okay? A lot of those players are not going to be around forever. But teams such as Jacksonville, Buffalo, Tennessee, and even Kansas City, they got a young core. They got a young team. A lot of these are first-round draft picks that's basically being polished, okay? They're being initiated into great players. They're basically growing into what they're going to be. These are their new stars now. Y'all bear with me, man. I've been sick recently. It's been a bug going around. It's flu season. I hope a lot of y'all stay warm right now. But anyways, yeah, back to what I'm saying. Yeah, I told y'all that. The league is changing. Teams don't always stay the same. A team ain't going to always be losing every year, okay? Eventually, when they get the right player, they find the right picks, they're going to eventually break in. And they're going to eventually get a winning record. So that's to me, man. To me, I'm predicting upsets. This is going to be a year where a whole lot of things change. We're going to be seeing an entirely 2 different teams in the AFC Championship and NFC Championship possibly. Because I know over here, man, Vikings got a strong chance of going all the way. The Eagles and Nick Foles can make smarter plays right now. That's the question for the Eagles right now. Can Nick Foles do just enough to get them there to the Super Bowl? Okay, because to me, Carson Wentz makes those risks. Carson Wentz is not scared of going on. Is not scared to put himself at risk. Nick Foles, Carson Wentz will do everything he can to get his team to win. That's what I like about Carson Wentz. And I told y'all, man, Doug Peterson is coach of the year. He's completely turned this Eagle team completely around. But the Eagles got a lot of competition. To me, man, if the Rams play the Eagles, Philadelphia might not be beating the Rams. I'm just sorry, man. The Rams have basically shown that they want it this year, okay? So that's just my prediction, man. I got Rams over Falcons, Panthers over Saints, Jaguars over Bills, even though that's going to be a close defensive game. And I got Chiefs over Titans. And, folks, that's just my prediction for this playoff, man. Y'all stay tuned in because next week I'll do the second round. And, again, man, I didn't use no gematria. I didn't use no numerology. I just used my common sense. The teams I told y'all was going to make the playoffs actually made it in. That was Jacksonville, Buffalo, Tennessee. I told y'all Kansas City was going to make it in. New England, Pittsburgh made it in. I told y'all the Vikings was going to make it in. because they don't have Sam Bradford there to mess things up for them. Okay, the Eagles took the NFC East over my Cowboys. So again, man, that's my predictions, man. Y'all stay blessed, stay tuned, and I'll see you soon. Happy New Year.